Carl Jung on Intuition: How to Tap into Your Inner Wisdom by Whispering Idea.
Intuition is seeing with the soul. It's the quiet voice that guides you when reason falls short. Carl Jung believed that tapping into this inner wisdom can unlock answers you didn't know you had, answers that can shape your life in ways you never imagined. Something we all feel, but few of us fully understand. Intuition is often seen as a mysterious force, a gut feeling we can't quite explain. But Carl Jung, one of the most influential psychologists in history, saw intuition as much more than that. To Jung, intuition was a powerful mental function that connects us to our inner world and the hidden patterns around us. It goes beyond logic or observation. It's almost instinctual. In this video, we'll explore Carl Jung's view on intuition, including the 4 different types he identified. We'll talk about practical ways to develop each of these forms of intuition, the life-changing benefits they can bring, and even how to tell if you're an intuitive type. So let's get started.
Now, the way I think about intuition is it's the gut feeling. It's that feeling within your gut that tells you when something is not aligned with you or when something is aligned with you. 9 times out of 10, bro, it's going to lead you down. It's gonna lead you to where you should be instead of where you shouldn't be. Now, some people be like, "Oh, my intuition was wrong or my gut feeling was wrong." In some cases you do hear that. But 9 times out of 10, I say 8 to 9 times out of 10, your intuition is always gonna lead you to what serves you, to what is aligned with you. So even if it's taking you away from something, even if you want to do this thing and it's saying, nah, we finna take you away from it. 9 times out of 10, whatever you're trying to indulge in is it does not serve you. It does not serve your best interest. So you shouldn't even be doing it in the first place. You see what I'm saying?
The 4 types of intuition. 1. Sensing intuition. The first type of intuition we'll discuss is sensing intuition. Sensing intuition is a kind of physical connection to the world around us. It's not just about what we see or hear. It's about picking up on subtle clues in our environment that others might overlook. You might think of it as being in tune with the atmosphere around you. For example, let's say you walk into a room and immediately feel that something's off. Maybe the air feels heavy, or you sense a kind of tension without anyone saying a word. That's sensing intuition at work. You're picking up on subtle, almost invisible cues that signal to you that something isn't right. This form of intuition is often found in people who are deeply connected to their physical environment, like artists, performers, or even people in high-pressure fields who need to read a room quickly. Take actors, for instance. Great actors have to sense the energy of the scene and their fellow actors, reacting in ways that feel genuine and powerful, even if no words are spoken. This type of intuition lets them connect with the emotional undercurrents of a scene, creating something that feels raw and real for the audience. 2. Thinking intuition. Next up, we have thinking intuition. This type of intuition is fascinating because it blends intuition with logic and reason. While it might sound contradictory, thinking intuition helps us jump to conclusions that make sense in hindsight, even if we didn't logically work through every step to get there. It's the type of intuition that helps us solve problems.
Now, this is the thing about intuition, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Intuition, sometimes, if you're not, intuition bypasses logic. So, a lot of times, for people who do, go by their intuition, they go by their gut feeling. A lot of the time, it'll bypass logic because, again, it's just a feeling. It's something that you're feeling within. Again, it just bypass logic. So, usually, what I do is so I know I'm making a logical answer or a logical choice. What I will do is I will listen to that intuition. I'll listen to it, right? I listen to it, but I won't act on it. I won't like go ahead and let's say it's somebody that I should be getting away from, right? Yeah, let's say it's somebody I should be getting away from. Intuitively I feel like, all right, maybe I shouldn't be around this person. Maybe something about this person ain't right. Something about this person, I'm just not feeling this person. I will stick around. I will stick around so I can observe. So then I can make logical decisions. So I can observe this person. Once I'm able to observe the person and see, see what's really going on. Like, why am I feeling this? What is spirit trying to tell me? Once I see what's going on, and it could be the slightest thing, then I'm out. Now, some people say that it's avoidant. You gotta avoid attachment. I say I don't give a fuck. A lot of the time, bro, your intuition will get you out of situations that were, you know what I'm saying? It will get you out of shit that didn't even need to be in your life in the first place. It will get you out of, how do I say this? A lot of the time, your intuition will get you out of life-changing situations and life-changing decisions. So even if nothing happened, even if your intuition told you to dip, told you to get away, told you to go, and nothing was going to happen, at the end of the day, it was still a possibility that some bullshit was going to happen. So why not take that precaution? Why not take that precaution and just dip? You see what I'm saying? It's like, again, if you're going into a party, imagine you go into a party and some don't feel right about that party. Some feel off about that party. Would you not leave? You see what I'm saying? Would you not leave? I know if I was in a party and some just don't feel right about the party, some just, my intuition is going off, my gut feeling going off, nigga, I'm leaving. Even if something don't happen, even if it was a lit night, everybody's going crazy. It was just a lit night that night, I'm still not gonna care. I'm still leaving. I don't care, because it's a chance. It's a slim chance that you being there ended up popping off something. So you might as well just remove yourself out the equation. Go ahead and do something else. It don't even matter. It's plenty more out there. There's plenty more parties. There's plenty more people. It don't even matter. Your intuition will never leave you astray, bro. Your intuition will always make sure that you are put in position to go through situations, have people around you that serve you instead of deterring you or hurting you in the long run. You get what I'm trying to say?
Even when we don't have all the facts. Think of it like this. Have you ever had an aha moment when you suddenly knew the answer to a complex problem without knowing exactly how you got there? For example, Sherlock Holmes, the fictional detective, often knows things that seem impossible to guess. He connects the dots instinctively, making leaps that others can't see. In real life, scientists and inventors often rely on this type of intuition. Albert Einstein, for instance, talked about how he trusted his intuition to guide him toward ideas that logic alone couldn't explain. Thinking intuition lets us look at a few scattered details and suddenly understand the bigger picture, which is crucial in fields that require innovation and creativity.
See, now there's something new that I didn't know. I was thinking that intuition was like situational based or person based. Like it's like a compass. It's a guiding system. So it'll tell you if something is off or something is good, something is bad. You see what I'm saying? But the way he is explaining it right now is like your intuition is basically any idea that pops into your mind, any sort of nudge that pops up in your mind. Any nudge or idea that pops up in your mind is considered intuition. Is intuition based. The more you act upon that nudge, the more you go for that nudge, the stronger your intuition gets, I guess. But this is just one of the types. He said one was thinking intuition, one was sensing intuition.
Imagine a software developer spotting a bug in their code. They might not have all the details laid out, but their intuition lets them see the potential cause, guiding them to a solution before it's even clear to others. 3. Feeling intuition. Feeling intuition is all about understanding emotions, both our own and those of others. People with strong feeling intuition often have an almost empathic ability to sense what others are going through, even if no one's explicitly saying it. It's like being able to tune into the emotional frequency of those around you. Think about a therapist who can sense what their client is feeling, even if the client isn't expressing it outright. Carl Jung himself, in his work with patients, used feeling intuition to connect with them on a deeper level. He didn't just listen to what they said, he tuned into their body language, tone, and even what they were avoiding talking about. This gave him insight into their inner struggles and allowed him to guide them in profound ways.
And I feel like this is such an underrated, like, I was gonna call it a power. This is like so underrated, bro. Cause do you know how like good it is to to have intuition as far as like when it comes down to a person. I say this because, bro, it's important to read people, bro. It's super important to read people. Like that whole saying, don't judge a book by its cover. It's true to an extent. Like I'm not gonna sit here and say you shouldn't just have an assumption of a person. Like we all judge. We all gonna judge somebody based off how they look, based off how they their first impressions. When somebody shows themselves off their first impression, you're gonna end up judging that person. You're gonna end up getting like a first base type. You know what I'm trying to say? You're gonna get like some type of first base view about that person. You dig what I'm saying? But after you get past that, after you let go of the judgment, and you actually try to get to know that person, man, it is important to learn how to read people. Learn how to read people's, how I say this. Just learn how to read people, bro. It is very important to learn how to read people and get to know their pattern. Get to know who they are. Really get to know a person and see how you can operate around them, or if you even want to operate around them. But it's very important to learn how to read people, bro, because especially nowadays, shit wild nowadays, bro. I'll tell you that.
People with strong feeling intuition often find themselves understanding others at a level that can be hard to explain. It's almost like having a sixth sense for emotions, picking up on what lies beneath the surface. In relationships, this intuition can create a deeper, more compassionate bond with others, as they're often able to empathize and respond in ways that resonate emotionally. 4. Judging intuition. Finally, we have judging intuition. Judging intuition is all about seeing the big picture. People with strong judging intuition can anticipate future trends, recognize patterns, and understand the broader meaning behind events. It's a kind of intuition that helps leaders, visionaries, and strategists. For example, Steve Jobs, the co-founder of Apple, is often cited as having a strong judging intuition. He had this unique ability to see where technology was going and understand what people would want before they even knew it themselves. Judging intuition is like having an inner compass that helps you see beyond the immediate moment and plan for the future. In a way, this type of intuition is like seeing the map of life, understanding not only where you are, but where you're going. It's an invaluable skill for anyone in leadership or creative fields.
I was gonna say, I didn't read up on it, but I've heard that this is really important for like people in business or artists or, people who create things. It's very important for you to have this sense of like, he calls it judging intuition, but I'll just call it intuition. It's very important for you to have this type of intuition because you always want to be one step ahead of people, right? What I learned is people usually will, if you're considering yourself an icon and people follow you, you're a person that makes something and you end up making something that people don't even realize that they want, if that makes sense. So it almost makes you seem like you're ahead of your time. It almost makes you seem like you're in the future. You're ahead of what's going on right now. You dig what I'm trying to say? When you're a person that can see patterns within history or herstory and can see these, see these continuous trends that happen, and then you can end up, spinning it into your own way or your own viewpoint or your own, creating it in your own way. You can end up either creating a new trend, creating a new wave, or you can end up giving something to people they didn't even know that they wanted. And that I heard that's like a key thing that business owners really try to prioritize. Yeah, they try to for the most part prioritize, go along with the trends, stay hip with the trends, stay hip with the people, but also give people things that they did not know that they wanted. Now, it's not saying that you're gonna be accurate 100% of the time, but 9 times out of 10, when you give a product or when you give people something that they did not know that they wanted, it's like it trumps it. It's like how do I explain this? It makes a person, I say it's way better than you following along with trend. Because then whatever you created that people did not know that they wanted, it now is associated with your name. So now people are going to you for whatever, you know what I'm trying to say? That's the main thing I'm trying to say about the this type of intuition.
As it helps them anticipate changes and guide others effectively. These 4 types of intuition, sensing, thinking, feeling, and judging, each have their own.
And mind you, this all has to do with the mental. Now, remember what we was talking about with the pillars. You have the masculine brain, the feminine brain. You have matter and mind. You have spiritual you have animalistic side, and you have the spiritual side. So imagine on the right side of the pillar, the feminine aspect, the spiritual aspect, the mind aspect. This is what you have to tap into to gain your intuition. To gain intuition, you have to start balancing yourself out to not be more feminine. It's not saying you have to be feminine, but it's saying you have to tap into your spiritual side, tap into, getting your mental right, making sure that you are mentally okay, that you can mentally do things. Tap into strengthen your intuition, strengthen your discernment, and these things will strengthen that right pillar, that feminine aspect, that spiritual aspect. That's why do you think, like, with women, you see they got the women's intuition. It's so on point. The reason why is because that right aspect, when women are in the feminine aspect, they intuition be on point because they are feminine beings. You see what I'm saying? That sensing, that thinking, that feeling, that judgment, they go off that a lot of the time. And a lot of the time, what do they be? Right. So this just comes to show us that when it comes down to your intuition, you need to be listening to that majority of the time. Now, it's not saying don't neglect logic. Logic is a big thing. You should be, you know what I'm saying? You should be logically thinking at the same time, especially if something is absurd. 9 times out of 10, bro, your intuition is going to guide you. Is going to guide you to what serves you, man. I'm trying to tell you. Really tap into your right side, the right pillars, the feminine aspect, the emotional aspect, the mental aspect, the spiritual aspect. Really tap into that.
Strengths, and they allow us to interact with the world in ways that go beyond just logic or observation. But how can we develop these forms of intuition in our own lives? Now that we've explored Jung's 4 types of intuition, let's talk about practical ways to cultivate them. Carl Jung believed that intuition could be developed, and he proposed several techniques that allow us to tap into this inner wisdom. Here are a few methods he recommended. 1. Active imagination. Active imagination is a technique Jung himself used and encouraged. It's a form of meditation where you let your mind wander, exploring images, thoughts, and scenarios as they arise. This technique helps you connect with your subconscious and allows your inner thoughts to come forward without judgment. Here's how you can try it. Set aside some quiet time, close your eyes, and let your mind visualize a scene or question that's on your mind. For example, if you're struggling with a decision, imagine yourself in a situation related to that choice. Then, let your mind explore that scene, paying attention to any images or emotions that arise. Engage with them as if they were real, and see where your imagination takes you. You might be surprised by the insights that come up. This technique is particularly powerful for those who have a lot of internal dialogue or find themselves overthinking. It allows the subconscious to speak up, giving you insights that your conscious mind might not reach on its own.
The way I personally strengthen my intuition is when I'm called to do something within my mind. Like if I'm got a nudge to do something, or I have a nudge to go ahead and do whatever, I usually will go ahead and do that. Now, it's not saying that I do it 100% of the time, because again, I have my own self-governance and self-ruling. So if it's directly, let's say right when I get up, I meditate. That is a self-governing rule for me, right? I get up and I meditate, but I get a nudge to get up and go do something else. Get up and, go post a video, or get up and go do something else. I'm not gonna bypass my own governance just to listen to that nudge. You get what I'm saying? That's where the logical thinking comes in. What want is prioritized over the other. You get what I'm trying to say? But 9 times out of 10, when I'm in meditation, when I'm in deep meditation, and I get a nudge to talk about something, or I get a nudge to go ahead and post a video about something, I will go ahead and do that. And what that also does, it creates self-trust. What it does, it strengthens your intuition, and it strengthens your self-trust within yourself. So whenever you listen to yourself, you know that you're able to follow through with what is being called of you to do. You get what I'm trying to say? And this is what all that Christ consciousness comes into play. And we'll talk about Christ consciousness, but this is what Christ consciousness comes into play. But when your mind is not gunked up with all types of corruption and it's just gunked gunked up with all types of corruption and all types of, you're not gonna be able to truly listen to the right intuition, right? You'll get nudges to do something that's corrupted or some bullshit. You won't be getting intuition or nudges to do something that's right. You get what I'm trying to say? So when you purify the mind, you'll be able to get nudges and intuition that will lead you to what serves you, if that makes sense. Baseline, the best way to get a good signal, the way I see intuition is like a signal from God. It's like you're signaling from God. The best way to get that good signal is to purify the mind and listen to the nudges. Listen and actively walk or set action to the nudges that you get when you get a nudge in your mind. You get what I'm trying to say? But first thing first is you need to purify the mind. You need to purify the mind. Then you need to again listen to the nudges or the intuition or the ideas or the thoughts that come into the mind, I guess you could say.
2. Dream interpretation. For Jung, dreams were a direct link to the unconscious mind, a kind of nighttime intuition where our minds process hidden thoughts and emotions. By analyzing our dreams, we can gain insights into our deepest fears, desires, and even intuitive knowledge. To start, keep a dream journal next to your bed and jot down any dreams as soon as you wake up. Even if they seem random, patterns often emerge over time. For example, recurring symbols or themes might hint at unresolved emotions or hidden desires that your conscious mind isn't aware of. Over time, this practice helps you become more familiar with your inner world, allowing intuition to surface naturally. 3. Journaling. Journaling can be a powerful way to connect with your intuition. When you write freely, without censoring or overthinking, your subconscious mind has a chance to express itself. This process, called stream of consciousness writing, can lead to breakthroughs that might otherwise stay hidden. Try starting your journal session by writing about a problem you're facing, a decision you need to make, or even a feeling you can't quite understand. Write whatever comes to mind, even if it doesn't make immediate sense. Often, you'll find that your intuition reveals itself through patterns or thoughts you didn't expect to come up. 4. Meditation. Meditation creates a mental space where intuition can surface without distraction. In moments of quiet stillness, you're more likely to hear the subtle, quiet voice of intuition that often gets drowned out by the noise of everyday life. To practice, set aside 10 to 15 minutes each day for a
And this is why I personally meditate. I'm not saying you have to meditate. Like a lot of people will say, oh, if you're gonna go on this spiritual journey, if you're gonna go on this self-knowledge journey, this metaphysical journey, you have to meditate. I'm not gonna say you have to meditate, but what I do is I do meditate. What I do is I take 10 minutes to breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. This will calm down my body, calm down my nervous system enough so I can then listen to the thoughts that come up. Then I will take 20 minutes to genuinely just listen without judgment, just listen without judgment, but listen to the thoughts that do come. I'm not sitting there trying to get away from the thoughts or turn them off or quiet them. That's personally just not the way I meditate. What I do is I listen to the thought, because those are the times that I really have the best ideas. Those are the times where I really have the ideas that will bring me one step closer to what I'm manifesting. Or those are the times that I really should be listening. Those are the times where I can heal. Those are the times where, you get what I'm trying to say? When I sit there and I listen to my thought, listen to what's going on, listen to what's happening. Those are the times where I can elevate myself. You get what I'm trying to say? But certain people also, I know that certain people, they say, you should quiet the mind or shut the mind off. Or quiet the mind. Let the mind just focus on breath. Personally, when I'm meditating, my meditations aren't for me. I already do the breathing within the beginning. My meditations are mainly so I can listen to the mind, listen to what my feminine aspect is saying, listen to it, hear the intuitions, hear the guidance, hear the what is it called? Yeah, hear what spirit is saying. That's what meditation does for me. But meditation can be done in all types of ways. Don't think that just because I do meditation my way or somebody's doing meditation in another way, that one person is wrong. You just have to figure out what meditation practice is best for you. When it comes down to meditation, there's not one way that's going to help everybody universally. You just have to go within and figure out what meditation practice works best for you. I've tried plenty of meditations, and the one that I do right now currently is the one that works best for me. So just try different meditation techniques. Try different. If you do end up wanting to meditate, try different meditation techniques. Try different ways of meditating. And figure out what genuinely works for you. And if none works for you, then maybe meditation is not for you, or maybe you need to do it in just try different things and see what works.
Simple meditation session. Focus on your breath, letting go of any distracting thoughts, and simply observe what thoughts or feelings arise. Over time, you'll start to notice that your intuitive insights become clearer and more frequent. Developing intuition takes patience and practice, but the rewards are invaluable. Let's take a look at some of the specific benefits you might experience as you deepen your connection with your intuition. Cultivating intuition can truly transform your life, enhancing not only your self-awareness, but also your ability to create, solve problems, and make decisions. Here's a closer look at how these benefits play out. Increased creativity. When we're tuned into our intuition, we're able to access ideas and insights that go beyond logical thinking. This connection fuels creativity, allowing us to think outside the box and explore new possibilities. For example, some of the most innovative thinkers and artists in history, like Salvador Dali or Leonardo da Vinci, often credited their creative success to a deep, almost instinctual understanding that came from within. By tapping into their intuition, they could access ideas and visions that weren't immediately accessible to.
And this is what I also been trying to practice or put into practice when it comes down to disciplining myself to be more creative. Now, I think, to be honest, I think unconsciously I'm very creative. I think unconsciously I just come up with shit and I just do it. But when it's said you need to be, when it comes down to being a creative person, anybody could be creative. But when it comes down to being a creative person or strengthening that creativity, it all comes down to strengthening your intuition, strengthening that part of yourself that comes up with these ideas, and then it takes you to put them into action. That's what strengthening that, for me at least, that's what disciplining myself in creativity looks like. That's what strengthening myself in creativity looks like, is getting an idea, and then I probably put it in my notes or I write it down, and then I put that into action. I put that into play. So then I'm becoming more disciplined and being creative. You get what I'm trying to say? Sometimes I have my slips. Sometimes I don't want to create certain things that I have come up in my mind. But a good 8 to 9 times out of 10, I'll create whatever comes into mind.
To the conscious mind. It's the difference between creating something that's smart and creating something that's truly inspired. 2. Improved problem solving. Intuition often provides shortcuts to problem solving that bypass the logical, step-by-step approach. When we're faced with a challenging situation, our intuition can offer insights that point us directly to the root of the issue. Imagine you're working on a complex project at work and, without really knowing why, you suddenly feel drawn to a particular solution. This kind of intuitive leap can save you time and energy by helping you arrive at the answer faster. For example, think of a detective solving a case. While evidence and logic play a huge role, detectives also rely on gut feelings to piece together clues. Similarly, using your intuition allows you to jump to solutions in a way that would take much longer if you were just using pure logic. 3. Enhanced decision making. One of the biggest benefits of honing your intuition is improved decision making. In life, we're often faced with decisions that don't have a clear right or wrong answer. Logic and analysis can only take us so far. At some point, we need to trust our inner judgment. When we develop our intuition, we're better equipped to make these kinds of decisions. We're able to weigh not only the facts, but also the subtle, intangible factors that logic might overlook, like how a decision aligns with our personal values or how it might impact our emotional well-being. Consider a major life decision, like choosing a career path. Many factors come into play, from financial security to personal fulfillment. While logical thinking helps evaluate each option's practical side, your intuition might gently guide you toward the path that truly resonates with your purpose.
And this is because, again, you're being decisive. When you're indecisive, when you're constantly indecisive, that shows that plays a role within your brain. Your brain, when you're constantly not listening to your inner guidance or your inner judgment, your brain is gonna take that as, oh, you don't trust yourself. You don't trust yourself enough. You don't have enough self-trust. You don't have enough self-trust to be able to listen to your inner guidance, listen to your inner judgment. And that ends up taking a toll within your intuition. That ends up taking a toll on your intuition when you can easily just be decisive. All you have to do is be decisive. Be decisive on what you want. Be decisive on the things that you want. When you get a nudge or an idea to do something, just do it. Don't overthink it unless it's absurd and it's just out of this world. When it's something that's creative or when it's something that comes, just do it. It don't have to be nothing crazy. It don't have to be nothing. Just do it. This is how you strengthen your intuition. This is how you strengthen that inner judgment, that inner compass, that inner guidance. This is how you strengthen that by being decisive and listening to it and being decisive on taking action upon it. You get what I'm trying to say? When you're constantly indecisive on something, when you're constantly, I don't know, maybe should I do this? Maybe I shouldn't. It takes away from your self-trust. It takes away from the trust that you have within. And you don't want that. You should always be decisive about you should always be decisive about your intuition. You should always be decisive about your self-judgment, your self-analysis. You get what I'm trying to say?
Even if it doesn't seem the most logical at first glance. By learning to trust this inner wisdom, you're likely to make choices that lead to greater happiness and satisfaction in the long run. 4. Greater self-awareness. Finally, using our intuition helps us gain a deeper understanding of ourselves. When we take time to listen to our inner thoughts and feelings, we begin to notice patterns that reveal our true desires, fears, and motivations. This self-awareness is invaluable because it helps us make choices that align with who we really are, rather than who we think we're supposed to be. For instance, you might notice that your intuition often urges you to spend more time on creative pursuits, like painting or writing, even if you've always thought of yourself as a practical person. By paying attention to these intuitive nudges, you begin to understand what brings you joy and fulfillment on a fundamental level. This insight leads to a life that feels more authentic and aligned with your true self. Developing your intuition has a huge range of benefits, but how do you know if you're naturally intuitive? There are some signs you can look for that might reveal if you're already in tune with this inner wisdom. Intuitive types often feel deeply connected to their inner world, and they have a certain sensitivity to the hidden layers of life. If you're wondering if you might be naturally intuitive, here are a few signs to watch out for. 1. Pay attention to your thoughts and feelings. One of the first signs of an intuitive person is that they frequently tune into their own thoughts and feelings. If you're someone who's always reflecting on why you feel a certain way, or contemplating deeper questions about life, this is a strong indicator of intuition. Intuitive people tend to feel things strongly, and can sense emotions within themselves before others even realize what's happening. Imagine you're at a social gathering, and something doesn't feel right. Perhaps you suddenly feel uneasy, even though there's no clear reason. This sensitivity to your inner emotions and reactions is a sign that you're in tune with your intuition. 2. Observe your behavior. Another way to spot intuition is by looking at how you behave in everyday situations. Intuitive people often notice patterns and connections that others miss. They might have a strong sense of just knowing things, even when the evidence isn't clear. For example, you might avoid certain situations or people without knowing exactly why, only to find out later that it was the right call. This can show up in practical ways too. For instance, you might get a sudden urge to reach out to a friend you haven't spoken to in a while, only to find out they're going through a tough time. Or you might be drawn to certain hobbies or interests that turn out to be deeply meaningful. Observing these patterns in your behavior can reveal that your intuition is at work. Carl Jung believed that intuition was a vital part of our psychology, a way for us to connect with a realm beyond the visible, rational world. By understanding the 4 types of intuition, sensing, thinking, feeling, and judging, we can tap into different ways of knowing that go beyond our usual, logical mind. Developing this intuition takes practice, but as we've discussed, there are many ways to do so, through active imagination, dream interpretation, journaling, and meditation. And as you cultivate your intuition, You'll start to experience profound benefits like increased creativity, better problem solving, improved decision making, and greater self awareness. So,
Now notice all these things have to do with the mental, the right pillar. When you tap into that right pillar, you see how much it just helps creativity, emotional control, or emotional intelligence, self-awareness. You see what I'm saying? All these aspects of yourself that will help guide you along your way and will take you far all have to do with the right pillar of your mind. This is why women live longer than niggas. I'll be real. This is why this is why women live longer than us, bro. It's because they be thinking, bro.
whether you're an intuitive type or just starting to explore this side of yourself, remember that intuition is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes. And as you continue to listen to your inner wisdom, you'll find yourself living a life that feels truer to who you are, guided by a deep, inner sense of purpose and understanding. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and let me know your thoughts in the comments below. See you next time.
Yeah. The way I see it, bro, is like, look, your intuition is almost like that direct. It's that direct signal to whatever you call God, to whatever you call your higher self, God, the universe, I don't know, source, the divine. It's the direct signal. To be honest, the right pillar of your mind is the direct signal to God. It's the direct signal to your soul. It's the direct, you know what I mean? It's the spiritual aspect. It's the unknown. You get what I'm trying to say? And when you strengthen it, it takes you a lot far longer way than it does when you're operating on your left pillar of the left pillar of yourself, the more masculine aspects of yourself, the more matter, uh, physical aspects of yourself. You get what I'm trying to say? Yeah, that was a good video, bro.